Welcome back to Agro TV, where we uncover the machines that shaped farming history. Today, we bring you 7 vanished vintage tractors only true enthusiasts remember. These are not the famous icons you see in every museum or parade. These are the rare machines, the forgotten workhorses that only true tractor lovers still talk about. Some were bold experiments that promised more efficiency or comfort. Others were rugged tools designed for specific jobs that faded away as technology moved on. They may not have sold in huge numbers, but they carried ideas that helped shape the tractors that followed. For the dedicated enthusiasts, these names still spark memories of long-forgotten fields, engineering gambles, and designs that stood out in their time. From unusual layouts to pioneering features, these tractors are hidden gems of agricultural history. Today, we'll count down 7 of them, machines that may be gone, but never forgotten by those who truly know the roots of farming innovation. This is Agro TV. Let's begin. Number 7. The Allis-Chalmers Model B, produced from 1937 to 1957, was a compact, affordable, and incredibly influential tractor that brought mechanized farming to thousands of small-scale operations across North America. Developed during the Great Depression, the Model B was specifically designed for smaller farms that couldn't justify the cost or size of a full-size tractor, yet still needed dependable, versatile equipment. Powered by a 4-cylinder gasoline engine delivering around 17 horsepower, the B was perfectly suited for light-duty tasks such as plowing, cultivating, mowing, and belt work. Its narrow frame, lightweight, and adjustable rear axle made it ideal for row crop farming, while its simple design and low operating costs made it approachable for first-time tractor owners. With over 125,000 units built, the Model B was not only a commercial success but also a cultural one, helping shift countless farmers away from horses and into the modern mechanized era. Its bright Persian orange paint and clean, functional styling made it a standout visually, but it was the combination of economy, utility, and approachability that made it a beloved fixture on farms for decades. Do you think it's the small machines like the Model B, not just the big brutes, that truly moved agriculture forward? Number 6. The Twin City 20-35, built in the 1920s by the Minneapolis Steel and Machinery Company, was a powerhouse of early American tractor engineering, designed to tackle the heavy demands of prairie farming with brute strength and steadfast reliability. With its large 4-cylinder kerosene-burning engine producing 20 horsepower at the drawbar and 35 at the belt, it was perfectly suited for pulling multi-bottom plows and powering threshing machines. The tractor's sheer weight and size gave it excellent traction, while its open, industrial frame and exposed gears made it easy to service in the field, a crucial feature for farmers working far from dealerships or mechanics. Large steel wheels with cleats provided solid grip across rough terrain, and its 2-speed transmission allowed steady, controlled operation during tough jobs. Known for its deep exhaust tone and rugged durability, the 20-35 earned a strong following among Midwestern farmers and helped cement Twin Cities' reputation for dependable heavy-duty machines. Do you think today's GPS-guided tractors will ever match the raw, mechanical soul of giants like the Twin City 20-35? Number 5. The Case Model L, manufactured from 1929 to 1940 by the J.I. Case Company of Racine, Wisconsin, was a formidable standard tread tractor built for raw power and endurance at a time when American agriculture was expanding across vast, open fields that demanded strength over agility. Introduced as a heavy-duty, general-purpose machine, the Model L was designed to tackle wheatland plowing, belt work, and large-scale field preparation with unrelenting reliability. At its heart was a robust 4-cylinder gasoline engine displacing over 5,000 cubic centimeters, producing around 33 horsepower at the drawbar and nearly 40 at the belt, delivering steady torque at low engine speeds that made it ideal for deep tillage and heavy pulling. Early models featured steel wheels with cleats, while later versions adopted rubber tires, improving ride quality and versatility. The tractor's cast-iron frame, exposed components, and tall stance gave it a rugged, no-nonsense appearance that mirrored its workhorse nature. and its multi-speed transmission offered enough range for both fieldwork and slow transport. Though it lacked the finesse of smaller row crop machines, the Model L excelled in durability and was praised for its ability to run day after day under extreme workloads with minimal maintenance. It also helped set the stage for Case's post-war lineup, most notably the more refined Model LA that followed. The Model L was especially popular among large grain farmers in the Great Plains, where long days of uninterrupted high drawbar work were the norm. Despite its simplicity and lack of creature comforts, the Model L became beloved for its mechanical honesty. Everything visible, everything functional, nothing wasted. In a world increasingly driven by speed and technology, do machines like the Case L remind us of the enduring value of strength, simplicity, and purpose-built design? Number 4. The Coxhut 30, built from 1946 to 1957 by the Coxhut Plough Company of Brantford, Ontario, holds a significant place in tractor history as the first North American production tractor to feature a live power takeoff, PTO. A groundbreaking innovation that gave farmers greater control over their equipment and marked a turning point in the evolution of farm machinery. Prior to this, most PTOs were dependent on the tractor's motion, but the live PTO on the Coxhut 30 operated independently of the transmission, allowing implements like balers, mowers, and combines to keep running even when the tractor was stationary, hugely improving efficiency and safety. Powered by a rugged 4-cylinder gasoline engine manufactured by Buda, and later offered in diesel and LP gas variants, the 30 delivered around 30 horsepower and proved to be both powerful and fuel-efficient for its size, making it well-suited to medium-duty farming operations. Its smooth shifting transmission, hydraulics, and optional belt pulley gave it excellent versatility, and its 3-point-like rear linkage system, although not standardized, added to its utility. Beyond functionality, the Coxhut 30 stood out with its streamlined, automotive-inspired styling. Complete with a sloped hood, smooth fenders, and a two-tone cream and red paint scheme that gave it a bold modern look in an era when many tractors still looked like stripped-down industrial equipment. Available in row crop, standard, and orchard configurations, it served a wide range of farming needs from the Canadian prairies to the American Midwest. While Coxhut was a smaller manufacturer compared to giants like John Deere or International Harvester, the innovation packed into the 30 helped the company punch well above its weight and influence the broader tractor industry. Few machines have managed to be both technically groundbreaking and visually iconic. Do you think the Coxhut 30 deserves more recognition as one of the quiet pioneers of modern farming? Number 3. The Caterpillar 60, introduced in 1925, was the flagship model that launched the newly formed Caterpillar Tractor Company, born from the merger of the Holt Manufacturing Company and the CL Best Tractor Company, and it quickly became a legend in the world of heavy-duty agriculture and construction. Designed as a crawler tractor during a time when wheeled machines struggled in loose or uneven terrain, the 60 utilized massive steel tracks and a wide stance to deliver unbeatable traction and stability in the field. It was powered by a robust 4-cylinder gasoline engine producing around 60 horsepower, which at the time made it one of the most powerful tractors available and perfectly suited for large-scale plowing, road grading, and hauling applications. The engine's slow, steady torque and the tractor's rugged drivetrain allowed it to pull enormous loads with ease, often replacing teams of more than 30 horses in a single operation. With its open steel frame, exposed gears, and towering profile, the Caterpillar 60 was a brute force machine, more industrial beast than farm implement, and it gained popularity not only with farmers but also with contractors and logging companies who needed reliable, heavy-duty equipment that could handle extreme conditions. Operator comfort was minimal, with no cab or suspension to speak of, but its mechanical simplicity and durability made it easy to maintain and nearly impossible to stop. By setting new standards for traction and power, the 60 helped define Caterpillar's future as a global leader in machinery. When you think about early track layers like the 60, do you see them as the true ancestors of today's modern bulldozers and high-horsepower tractors? Number 2. The Farmall Regular, launched in 1924 by International Harvester, was a revolutionary machine that reshaped agriculture by introducing the world's first successful row crop tractor designed specifically for general-purpose use, a design so effective that it would influence tractor engineering for decades. Before the Regular, most tractors were heavy, steel-wheeled brutes built primarily for pulling plows, which meant they were too large, slow, and inflexible for the delicate tasks of row crop cultivation. The Farmall Regular changed that by combining lightweight construction, high ground clearance, and a tricycle-style front axle that allowed it to maneuver easily between rows of crops without crushing them, thus enabling a single machine to plow, plant, cultivate, and harvest. Powered by a reliable 4-cylinder gasoline engine producing around 13 drawbar horsepower and 20 at the belt, the Regular featured a 4-speed transmission, sturdy steel wheels, and a simple open-frame design that allowed for easy maintenance and repair in the field. Its high clearance, adjustable rear tread, and nimble turning radius made it ideal for the diversified farms of the Midwest, where flexibility and affordability were just as important as raw power. Importantly, the Regular was also one of the first tractors designed with the operator in mind. Its upright seating position, intuitive controls, and streamlined engine placement were a step forward from the awkward ergonomics of earlier machines. The Regular was priced within reach of average farmers, allowing thousands to mechanize for the first time and dramatically reduce their dependence on horses. By the time production ended in 1932, the Farmall Regular had laid the foundation for the entire Farmall line and inspired countless imitators, solidifying International Harvester's dominance in the growing row crop tractor market. It wasn't just a piece of machinery, it was a turning point in farming, ushering in a new era of efficiency, precision, and year-round utility. So, do you think any modern tractor has ever revolutionized the farm quite like the Farmall Regular did in 1924? Number 1. The International Harvester Mogul 8-16, produced from 1914 to 1918, was a key transitional tractor in the early evolution of farm mechanization, bridging the gap between massive steam engines and more compact, gasoline-powered machines that individual farmers could own and operate. Built at a time when skepticism toward internal combustion was still widespread, the Mogul 8-16 helped build trust in gasoline-powered tractors by offering simplicity, durability, and solid performance in a manageable size. Its single-cylinder water-cooled engine displaced nearly 7,000 cubic centimeters and delivered approximately 8 horsepower at the drawbar and 16 at the belt, figures that matched its name and reflected the era's conservative rating methods. The hit-and-miss governor and low engine speed gave the Mogul a distinctive, slow thumping sound and exceptional fuel efficiency, especially when running on kerosene, its primary fuel source. Starting the machine required a crank and a bit of patience, but once running, it could handle heavy belt work like powering threshers or sawmills, as well as basic tillage with surprising tenacity. The tractor featured large steel wheels with cleats, a narrow front axle, and an open frame that made it easy to access and repair, crucial for rural users far from service centers. Although it lacked a clutch or transmission in the modern sense, relying instead on friction drive mechanisms and simple controls, the Mogul 8-16 was a reliable and low-maintenance alternative to both horses and more complex machines of the time. It became particularly popular in the American Midwest and Canada, where its ruggedness and low operating costs were ideal for small and mid-sized farms. As one of the first successful production tractors from International Harvester, the Mogul 8-16 laid a foundation for the brand's dominance in the decades to follow. In a world just warming up to mechanization, could any machine have made a stronger case for gasoline power than this thumping one-lunger? And that brings us to the end of today's journey through farming history here on Agro TV. We've revisited 7 vanished vintage tractors only true enthusiasts remember, machines that may have disappeared from the fields long ago, but continue to live on in the hearts of collectors and in the pages of agricultural history. These tractors were more than bolts, gears, and engines. They were ideas, risks, and dreams forged in steel. Each one carried the hope of changing farming forever, and even when they failed commercially, Their innovations planted seeds that grew into the machines we see today. Some gave us new layouts and power systems. Others proved that comfort and efficiency could be just as important as raw strength. And while many farmers of their day may not have realized their long-term significance, we now look back and understand how far ahead of their time they truly were. That is why true enthusiasts still remember their names, still search for them in barns and auctions, and still share their stories to new generations. If you enjoyed this countdown, make sure to leave a like, share this video with a fellow enthusiast, and subscribe to Agro TV so you don't miss our next deep dive into the machines that built the backbone of farming. Until next time, keep the engines running in your heart, and remember, every field we farm today was once touched by the courage of these vanished tractors. This is Agro TV, and we'll see you in the next story from the fields.